There we are. Fiddling and fiddling. A bit late today. What are we talking about? Well, this is John Beattie, BritishPeoplesLeague.com. Trying to get rid of some of the junk here on the screen so I can concentrate on my message to you today. BritishPeoplesLeague.com. DINOSAUR news. Daily news. 5 days a week the show must go on. Late in the day. Had a lot on my plate today, but some of the other shows in the white right and the white patriotic cause, they're on time every day. So, still cold. I've still got the turtleneck, the Guernsey on. February 26th, 2014. The topic today is going to ruffle a lot of feathers in various camps. Those of you who know me know I have to get things off my chest. Like most of us, a lot of people hold things in, though. That's how they get ulcers. I don't believe in holding things in. Okay, on the business of funding for those who are fighting for our white race, for our white cause. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been wasted, absolutely wasted in the court system. I admire so many of the people who suffered with so many draconian hate laws in Canada and the motherland. But as one fellow said to me, do we lie down in front of a train? Do we lie down in front of a bus? We don't have to be cowards, but the hate laws can be avoided. The main hate law in Canada, you have to incite hatred against an identifiable group, etc. But I mean really incite. You have to really get rabid. You have to really start ranting and raving. It's not exposing the truth. Not so much the truth that you're speaking, it's how you're saying it. If you're saying it as a result of what they're doing, then this tribe should all be lynched. Or if you even hint at it, you know you're in trouble. There's no excuse. I'm sorry for the people that have been tried and have to pay these massive penalties. They're going to lose their homes and everything else. It isn't happening to this boy. We've got to apply some common sense. Then what happens after you're charged under the hate laws, different groups, different truth tellers? Well, then they have to beg for funds, of course, thousands and thousands of dollars for legal fees. It all could have been avoided. Look, those who want to expose, say, the Zionist power around the globe, you can do so. But you do so in such a way that it's not incitement to hatred. You can say it politely and smoothly that so-and-so controls the news media. So-and-so does this, that, and the other. You can still do it in a smooth way. You can even say, after you've said all these things, I do not wish to incite any discouragement or hatred, not discouragement, dislike or hatred towards Zionists or whatever. You don't have to say it. But there are ways around it. Try a dictionary. Check out my past videos. I've criticized Zionists here and there, but they're not my main focus. Then there are those who say, oh, they are the main focus, they control everything. Well, I don't believe they do control everything. Watch the Parliament proceedings in Ottawa every day. You're going to tell me that somebody's sitting in there running everything? Come on, I'm sorry, I don't agree. Yes, there are wicked, evil Zionists, but not all Jews are wicked, evil Zionists, okay? And again, these people that are martyrs in their own eyes, and then they have to plead for money to pay their lawyers, and then they milk on the attachment people have to this exposing Zionism as a career. Well, you have to know the chances you take when you lie in front of a bus. Yes, I'm saying they have a lot of power. But it doesn't mean you're a coward if you discuss other matters of importance to our tribes, our race. Those are British stock, the British People's League talks about here on this show. Because, boy, oh boy, when you get charged on that hate law, thousands of dollars you've got to go begging, and then you've got these middlemen in the white man's cause who almost make a living flitting from one group to the other, begging for funds to help out. And those people that have been charged are fine, decent people. I just wish they'd stayed out of the courts. Preach their message in such a way that they don't get in the courts. And there are ways and ways of getting the message across. But when you go at it viciously, you're asking for trouble under their hate laws. Yes, their hate laws. I just don't know what to say. It's just sad. The thousands and thousands of dollars, and there's so few patriots around. And to see them tied up in the courts all the time. I mean, I don't like being the only one left out here on the ship, boys. So please, any newcomers you're thinking of doing blogs or anything of that nature in Canada, you better study the hate law and the Criminal Code of Canada. Make sure that you don't fall into it. And it's not laid easily. Now, the previous one, Section 13, the Human Rights Act and all that crap, that was trouble. That was being laid on everyone at any time. I was threatened with it at one time. That was trouble. Well, Harper's government, the Conservative government, the Conservative Prime Minister of Canada, kicked that one off the books. It was passed by the Liberal government when they were in power. The Conservative Party kicked it off the books. Okay, so you got to give Harper credit there. You got to give him a plus there. And oh, yeah. So him going with a huge entourage and kissing the Wailing Wall in Israel, etc., makes him under the thumb. Baloney, that's just politics. Harper's splitting the Jewish vote. He doesn't want Trudeau's son to get all the Jewish votes, so he makes the trip. You're going to tell me you're not a little bit political in your daily job? You don't have to mix with multicults? I know I did in my job that I just packed it in. They're slowly creeping up to where I work. And I'd had it. That was part of the reason I'd had it. But everyone has to mix with multicults in their job, whether you're selling meat at a butcher shop and you're handing the meat over to the multicult or whatever. So every job, you can't avoid it. But in your off hours, in your free time, in your free blogs, you get the message across the best you can. But read that bloody hate law and make sure you are not leaving yourself wide open. And this isn't the coward's approach I'm using here. I'm trying to help the cause, the white man's cause. Those of British heritage, I think our skin is white. Thousands and thousands of dollars collected over the years. And all these charges could have been avoided and you still get your message across. I'm not going to be your art teacher, okay? I mean, you know, I'm getting a few donations. I'm getting a bit of respect. I'm not being called a coward. I'm attacked by our enemies, so I must be doing some good. But I'm not falling under the hate law. I'm not falling under the bus. Now, it's a very short message today. I've had a hectic pace, and I grin when I feel guilty because these other hosts on different white shows, they manage to keep theirs going steadily. Some pack it in, but every day I promised. I want to keep it to 20 minutes, but I want to get that point out today. I had a very hectic day. I had to get oil in, and it's still freezing up here. I had a lot to do, so I'm afraid this is a shorter version. But in a way, that's just as well, so you can really think on what I had to say today, especially you young and uppercomers in the white man's cause. So think hard about what I've said about that hate law. Look it up in the Criminal Code of Canada. Think about it. Stay out of the court system. You can't help us in the court system. Well, then people say, oh, yeah, you're shivering with fear. We can't go on the streets anymore. We can't do this, that, and the other. You have to think about every item that you're going to do. One thing for sure is avoid street brawls with the enemy camp, because it takes two to tango, then there's two in the court system. You go back and forth to the courts. You've heard the routine, I'm sure. So it doesn't mean that discretion is the better part of valor. You don't have to be stupid and be in the court system. Just stay out of that court system. You can still get the message across. You can help us, British People's League, behind the scenes if you wish. Get in touch at britishcanada@gmail.com. britishcanada@gmail.com. Okay, So we're signing off, halftime here. And we'll talk at you tomorrow, perhaps with a lengthy normal show on February the 27th. Thanks for tuning in. I'm giving you a lot to think about right now, that's for sure. Goodbye.